In the world of human behaviours, it's not uncommon to find ourselves intending to communicate one thing and finding that the impact is quite different to what we had hoped. Human beings are complex. We're complex ourselves, and those we are communicating with are also very complex, and different things turn out to mean different things to different people, depending on their whole background and understanding of a whole bunch of things, and it's complicated. That's why actually conversation is one of the most creative things we can engage in, because what happens is, as we talk with one another, we discover new worlds that we weren't aware were there before, both in terms of what the other person is thinking or not thinking, and in terms of what we may or may not be thinking. In fact, we discover ourselves in communication and conversation as well. So what do you do when you've intended to communicate something in particular, and the outworking of that makes it pretty clear that what you intended isn't what was received, or the impact has gone very much awry in terms of not turning out the way you might have hoped? Is there anything you can do to rectify the situation? And of course the answer is yes. Just like in conversation, you can own the fact that things are going in a direction different to what you had meant or intended, and you can clarify. So in conversation, if somebody looks like they're getting the wrong end of the stick, you might ask them, well, what are you hearing? And they will tell you, and in that to and fro, you can clarify together what you intend to communicate, what they're hearing, and make sure that what you're intending becomes as close as possible to what they're hearing. In a situation where maybe you've made a public statement or organised a public event, and you intended it to work in a certain way and it doesn't go that way, you always have the opportunity to go back and clarify. Indeed, maybe even apologise if things have gone badly awry or certain people have been hurt. And it is always, I think, a sign of leadership and integrity and substance when you can take responsibility for your communications, and really basically you take responsibility for doing all that you can to ensure those whom you are communicating with end up hearing what you're wanting to convey. So sometimes what we intend is not the impact that we have, and the impact becomes evident as time goes on, and we could pretend that it wasn't our fault, but that doesn't actually help. Our task is to clarify, apologise, make it clear, and build the relationship. Keep going. So if that all sounds a bit too obscure, then maybe you haven't had some of the bad experiences that I've had in communicating. But if that's ringing some bells for you, know for sure that it's no bad thing to just make the effort to make sure that what you're wanting to convey, what you intend, what you're doing is in fact what people receive from you. And if it becomes evident that that's not what's going on, take further steps, clarify, do what's needed, keep communicating. It's a truly creative and wonderful process. It can be very life-giving. It's good to do. Helps us be more human, I reckon. So, keep communicating. Keep being true to what you intend. Helps you clarify what you intend as well, which is a remarkable process. God bless. See you around the college.